Mhm. Hey y'all, see if I can get this out of here. Hey y'all, it is Q's Corner. I am back again. Thank y'all for joining me. It is another Saturday. I wanted to start out by practicing my German with y'all. So I'm going to say Guten Tag euch allen. Willkommen bei Q's Corner. Ich hoffe, Sie haben Ihr Getränk. Mein ist ein Kaffee. Mein ist ein Eiskaffee. Und zum Redenbereich. Ich denke, wir werden heute auf jeden Fall eine gute Zeit haben. So basically, I said, welcome, y'all. Hope you got your drinks. We're going to have some fun today. I think it'll be a fun day today. I got some things to show you. I am hoping you guys are having a great Saturday. First off, let me tell you, I went and got my hair oppressed. So I was making sure that before I came live with you guys, I went to go make sure my white supremacy got internalized. My internalized white supremacy was out. So I got my hair oppressed, as I'm calling it. And I don't know if you guys saw. Hopefully you did. I did a video earlier this week, dropped that with Tia Mowry, excuse me, comparing her to Tony Braxton. And as I said in the video, y'all, I love Tony Braxton. So I was not really trying to throw shade at her, but you know, she did give Tia Mowry the blueprint. She was Tia Mowry before Tia Mowry was Tia Mowry. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about Tia Mowry. I don't know why I want to say Tia Mowry. I have no idea why I want to say that. It's just I don't know. So we're gonna get started. And I would like to say for those of you who will watch later, I hope you enjoy it also. So as I stated before, did a video this weekend with Tia Mowry and about Tia Mowry and Tony Braxton giving her the blueprint. Well, guys, I want to start off asking you a question because this is about Tia, kind of shifting away from Tony because, again, love her. But wanted to ask, have you guys ever had to heal from graduation? Pause. Let's think about that. I've graduated a few times. I had to kindergarten graduation. I did, I guess, fifth grade graduation and eighth grade graduation. Graduated from high school. Got my bachelor's degree. HU, and then went on to get my master's degree. So graduated from grad school. And I enjoyed each one of those, but I don't think I ever had to heal from it. Now, as you guys may or may not know, for those who don't, Tia Mowry, when she initially said she was going to divorce her husband, said that it was going to be she was completing a curriculum. She was graduating. And here is where she said that. She said she considered her marriage a success. She was on the Today Show with Hoda and Jenna. Excuse me, y'all. And she said she considered her marriage a success. So we're going to watch Tia talk about how I'm going to try and minimize myself a little bit more. Give you the full screen, give me maybe a little about how Tia said that she thought that her marriage had been a success. We're going to start it from the beginning. So everybody's clapping because Tia's coming out. And here we go.
Million followers, and she describes herself as a lover of family, food, and fun. It sounds like a lot of us. Let us welcome actress and producer Tia Mowry. Hi, guys. It is beautiful.
We're gonna let Tia talk for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, you look amazing. I love this audience. So amazing. You got the DJ here. It's like a party in here.
It's a party. How you doing?
I am doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing good.
We're so happy you're here. We just had your sister.
I know.
We love her.
Yeah.
And I
So hopefully you guys can see me. You guys were able to see me, talk to me, but I did not know that you were in here because I still have it had it set on private on my side. So I'm sorry, y'all. Back it up a little bit, and we're gonna go.
Your sister.
I know.
We love her.
Yeah.
And I love her too. I just talked to her I talked to her 2 days ago.
She is. So do you all feel like you're each other's kind of North Star? Does it still feel that way?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, she's like my best friend. I feel like she's like really my life partner when it comes to life. You know what I mean? She's always just right by my side. So I love you.
You know,
I love my sister too.
there's so many. You're at an interesting stage. Or
Yes.
phase in your life, Tia, and you've spoken about this, so we're
Yes.
comfortable asking you about it. But you and your husband, like a lot of couples, decided that it was better to be lived. Your life's better lived apart than together.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there for a second because raise your hand if you think Tia's husband said he wanted to live his life separate from her. Right. So put a hand in the chat if that's what happened, or put a 2 in the chat if it was Tia who told her husband they were gonna leave. Uh-oh. Can you guys see and hear me? Am I back? Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you, Qoffee 19. I see you. Thank you. Thank you, Susie Q. Shara, I love you because you were like me. You're the contrarian. You're gonna write it out. Brian Chess, yes, it was Tia who said she wanted to live her life separately. Let's keep going.
How did you know that it was time
That's a really good
to
question.
take that route?
I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children. Meaning, you know, our children, our friends, our, you know, family. But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth. And then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
Wow.
And it's not easy. It's a hard journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is so. Thank you.
Tia,
Ever since I'm just applauding her for saying that she feels that it's so worth it to leave your family and do for yourself. It's, oh, we have to take care of ourselves. Now that's not to say you neglect yourself, because everyone takes care of themselves. If you didn't, you wouldn't take care of anybody else, because you'd eventually die. But this whole little I'm number one, my self-care thing is just crazy. We'll keep going, because I want her to get to where she's talking about it being a curriculum and graduation.
You can hear the people saying yes, and here, people at home are sitting thinking like, I feel this, because marriage is hard.
It takes a lot of work.
And it also takes a lot of guts to know when you need to change something.
Yes, it really does.
It takes a lot of courage to say, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you knew I have to do something different?
Yes, I feel like when I started to, again, like I said, focus on myself, but there was this sadness. And I knew that life is short. I had actually,
you can do two
lost
things
my
at
grandmother.
one time.
We had lost Elena Housley, and both of them at the same time. There was just an aha moment in me where I said, you know what? You need to tap in, see what's really going on with your happiness. Life is short. Let's go. Let's start working on you and really focusing on what really, really matters here, which is at the end of the day, your peace, your joy, and your happiness. So I would say that. And I was in therapy as well.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of therapy. So it was all of that, together that gave me that, aha moment.
What were you the most afraid of stepping in? Because you're stepping in, because some people, when you say, oh, my husband and I are going our separate ways, they go, oh no, oh, that's sad. But you actually see this as
a celebration.
A celebration.
I really do. I look at it as one of my friends, she sent this beautiful letter to me from a woman who got a divorce. And it's all about, this perspective, in my opinion, and just changing the narrative. My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration. So that's basically, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, it's, are they happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing? And I feel like that is what is most important.
Okay, so we see Tia here. She said that it was a celebration. She finished the curriculum and she graduated. It's a celebration. And yes, COVID-19, it's a double standard, definitely. Men leave their families and you abandon me, how hard. But see, the reason I wanted you to see that, and the reason I started out with the question was, have you had to heal from a graduation? Because apparently Tia is having to now heal from this. And I showed this one last time, but we're gonna go over it again. And there's an article, because I want you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm really gonna work out this whole little sharing thing eventually. I shared this one last time, but I wanted you to watch it again, because now she's tearing up upon reflecting on her life after her divorce.
Someday, I believe I'll be able to look back on this time with nothing but warmth and gratitude for the beautiful children brought into my life.
Absolutely, Susan.
And the
you don't
stronger
do the double
version of
standard here.
myself that emerged from the
At least not with this.
Tia Mowry chokes up reflecting on life after divorce.
I feel like I do have a lot to say. It's just, when am I going to say it?
The actress not holding anything back, opening up about the challenges she's faced since her split from her husband of 14 years, Corey Hardrick.
One moment you're relieved, feeling like you've conquered something significant. Then suddenly, waves of emotions hit you all over again.
Okay, I want to stop there for a second. Have you all, you are my guinea pigs, Shara. You are my guinea pigs, and I appreciate you for being them. So Brian Chess, you actually made a good thing. So here's the thing. 1 minute, so she said it was graduation on Hoda, and this was very, right after she filed and decided she was going to tell the world she was leaving her husband. And then now she's saying that 1 minute you feel like you've conquered something, the next minute you feel like you're there are waves of emotions that hit you. Y'all, when I graduated from all of the grades in schools that I graduated from, I never had this wave of emotion like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad that I'm not there anymore. I was happy to be in a new chapter of my life. You think, hey, graduation, celebration, you finished the curriculum, that would be it.
You try different things to soothe and release emotional buildup with exercise, journaling your thoughts, meditation, and seeking therapy to cope with the breakup and the dreams you had for the future.
Since calling it quits in 2022, Tia's been doing just that and has been nothing but an open book about her next chapter.
You're falling in love with yourself. I know you hate to admit it. There's a lot of other people you could be falling in love with, but you're choosing you.
I'm all about inspiring and encouraging.
Okay.
The DMs
Hold on
that
one
I've
second. I
gotten from
wanted
so
to
many women that are
back that up for just a second. And it's
inspiring
I'm sorry,
and
hold it.
encouraging.
But you're choosing
You're
you.
falling in love with yourself. She wants somebody to fall in love with her.
With yourself. I know you hate to admit it. There's a lot of other people you could be falling in love with.
No, there's not. If there were, Tia would be.
I'm all about inspiring and encouraging. The DMs that I have gotten from so many women that are going through the same thing and just saying how they admire my courage and my strength. It has just been, I feel so blessed.
Included in Tia's blessings, her 2 children, whom she shares with Corey, 12-year-old son Cree and 5-year-old daughter.
So I'm going to stop sharing that one because I just want you guys to see it's and Brian, I saw your comment and I started. Where is it? She is going for publicity, and you know what? You are the winner chicken dinner for the stream right now because that is exactly it. Because guess what? Oh, wrong one. Where's my? Here we are. Guess what? Tia Mowry is coming back to the small screen with a reality show. So the title of the article is Tia Mowry lights up screens with first look at her new reality show. So Tia is deciding to share what's going to be going on. The untitled reality show is set to explore the facets of Tia's multifaceted life. This ranges from navigating Hollywood to managing her wellness journey. All of this comes while balancing the joys and challenges of motherhood. Also, her entrepreneurial endeavors will be chronicled. As a result, fans are eager for the authenticity and warmth Tia has brought to her previous roles. She wasn't too warm to her husband when she served him with divorce papers. Qoffee 19, I am hoping the same thing because he should never, ever, ever in life take her back. All of this, I don't say all of this, because she decided that she wanted to leave her husband. But and there's another article, and apparently I do not have that one up. I don't have that one. I thought I had the right one queued up, but she's saying that she is going to help people. She's going to show people how you heal after divorce. And I'm just thinking to myself, why do you need to heal? You graduated. This isn't something to be sad about. It's not something I didn't need to heal after getting my degree. It's just, I didn't. If you guys did, let me know. I asked my brother-in-law, who, by the way, thought it was hilariously funny. He was like, I don't like talking to you because I don't like your words. You're using healing and graduation together. But I asked other people, I'm like, did you have to heal after graduation? I've never had to heal after graduation. And she has also stated in some of her other videos or not videos, her other interviews that she's been doing lately, that she is excited to show it to her kids because this is a chance for her kids to see their mom do something, and she's setting an example for them. She's setting an example on how to break up a family, how not to be able to keep your word, how to quit when it gets tough. Because I understand. She mentioned that she lost a grandparent and a cousin or something, like another family member or a close friend. So I understand that losing people's heart, it It is very, very hard. However, there is no there is no need to bust up your family because of that. And she's out here happily, out here in the streets, letting people believe all kinds of things about her husband. The fact that he may have cheated on her. People were going into his Instagram and all that stuff, just telling, saying all manners of things about them. She's liking things they're saying about him. This is what you do to the husband who gave you 2 children, who is the father of your kids, who has not cheated on you, who has not done a darn thing to you other than stay with you, even after she came out and was like, I want a divorce. He's like, I love my wife. I love my family. I didn't do anything. And personally, I think that's really sad that she made him have to do that. That's ridiculous that you left it out there, and she did it on purpose. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't trust women like that, and definitely women who are attention seeking. I don't trust them not to purposefully put their husbands, brothers, wives, fathers, children in positions where people will think ill of them and then say nothing. Because to this day, she's still not said, my husband didn't do anything, as she's let people think things about him. Now, if you're sane and rational and you are paying attention, you understand she just left him because she's selfish and she wanted to have hot girl summer. Because after their second child, it took her a little moment to lose the weight from her second pregnancy. And I think, she'd always been a rather thin woman. And I think that that bothered her. And it took her a while to lose weight. And she decided that she was going to start posting, as she was doing her weight loss journey, what the young people like to call thirst traps. And so she's posting pictures of her that are more seductive and things. And I honestly knew, y'all, I said this last time, I knew that it wasn't going to be too long before she divorced him. And sure enough, within a year, she was saying she graduated from her divorce. Yeah, she did. She knew that he was there and he was going to stay there. They built a life together. I know everybody likes to talk about how when Tia met him, she was more successful than he was, and she was. Her name was known. She'd done Sister. Some of y'all might not remember, but she actually was in the video, though I've heard that the original song wasn't done with her and Tamara. But of the song, she was in the group Voices, and so they did a video together. That's so when Sister came out, I was like, oh my gosh, it's the girls from Voices. Anyway, she he was more successful, but they built a life together. And his career, again, I don't know that his career could ever be more successful. He could ever eclipse her, just because she was a child star and he's doing this more as an adult. But his career, he worked steadily. He still works steadily. And she just decided, I don't want to be with you. Let's see what we got here. We're saying, truth be told, the pandemic lockdown period forced a lot of couples to spend time together, and social media fakery made many people feel that they were missing out on debauchery. Ma'am, yes, I agree with you. You had to spend time with the real person. Although I will say this, a lot of people took to social media during the pandemic, which I really do like to say pandemic, because you know how I feel about that if you've been around me enough in the comment streets. But yeah, people took stock, and I agree with you that they saw all the stuff on social media, everybody doing all the TikToks and the twerkings and looking like they're living high off the hog and loving being all together, and they let it go to their head. So y'all, just to let you know, I wanted to show off my new drinking vessel. It is a strawberry shortcake can. It's stainless steel cooler. It looks like it is a soda can. It's great. And in here, I am having some iced coffee, because I did wait to have my coffee with you guys today. I had to go get my hair done at like 6 a.m, so there was no coffee. Then I woke up late, so I had to get in, get dressed, get out. Let's see. Susie, what are you saying about your baby? You didn't gain much baby weight from anybody. Nice. That must be lovely. Nice, Susie Q. Well, I haven't had any babies, but I am not the same weight I was when I was 15, and I'm definitely shaped different, probably from what I was a couple of years ago. Ah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I have been enjoying this, although I realize that I want to be able to swim this summer, and so I am working with my hairdresser on what we can do to allow me to be able to do that with my hair straightened, because I can't go to the pool every day, every week with my hair straightened, because though you guys see it straight, the fro is still in there. So if this gets wet, it's gonna puff out again. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I wanted to do some faux locks, and she was like, she doesn't do them. So we have to work something out. I might have to talk her into it, maybe entice her with a little more money or something. But enough about me, y'all. So we did the whole little Tia Mowry thing. So now we're gonna go from the feminist to the feminine, and they kind of sort of go hand in hand, because the whole feminist agenda with making men and women equal. And before I keep going, thank you, Jarena. Happy to see you. Thank you for joining us over here. Appreciate it. I think that the feminist agenda has feminized men too. And it's something that was really, really interesting. I get a lot of things that come across my timeline because of the fact that I sit in front of a computer all day. And so this article popped up, and it was an article of an interview from Fat Joe. So I'm looking at who's here now, but I don't know if all of you are of age, or even if you liked rap and remember Fat Joe. But Fat Joe's a rapper, and he was just talking about how he questions the growing femininity in hip hop. In my era, we wouldn't have seen that. Is the title to the article that they used, of course, from a quote. And we're just going to go through this article really quickly. This one was on Hip Hop DX. So Fat Joe is not a fan of the growing femininity in hip hop among straight rappers, and he's pretty sure it wouldn't have been tolerated in his era. During an Instagram live stream on last Friday, Joey Crack made it clear that his criticism does not pertain to people who are actually in the alphabet community, but those who identify as straight but still paint their nails and wear dresses. Listen, guys, don't misplace my words for the alphabet community. If you're one of them and you love being one of them, that's your thing. That don't got nothing to do with me. I got a best friend, a brother who's alphabet community. Don't they always say that? They always have a best friend, a brother, whatever. And it's one of those things that we just like to make sure we're clarifying. We're not really talking about the person. Oh no, Qoffee, he's not lying about this. He goes on to say, but this femininity, this thing that's going on in boxing, junk we see where he's saying he's the girl. Come on, man, you're messing around. He's like, I just wonder, right? Because we've come a long way to accepting everybody for who they are, and everybody should be accepted for who or what they want to be in life. I disagree with him there. We don't lie to people, because accepting somebody for who or what they want to be means you're agreeing with them and telling them it's okay, and that's not true. But we go on because what he was saying, that's not our business. But I wonder if in the 90s, the golden era, and I agree with him there. My hairdresser, when I was in there this morning, was playing 90s R&B, and it was taking me back, y'all. I was having flashbacks. I could see times, people, and places. Let's see here. But I wonder if in the 90s, the golden era, where we had real hardcore crews, it seems like a trend. I mean, being in the alphabet community has been around since before Christ. It's always been there. People are born like that. We disagree here too. No, you're not. It is a lifestyle choice that you are making because you're in rebellion to God. God says one thing, you don't want to agree with him. And because you're unregenerate and your heart isn't toward him, you are rebelling. He's like, I don't have a problem with that, but it seems like a trend, like a style. And it is. It is very much so a style. Now, everybody identifies as something. They have kids that they're putting litter boxes in schools, y'all, because children are saying that they're furries. They're identifying as cats. It's crazy. Let's see. So you guys who I don't think are alphabet, but are painting their nails or they're walking with Birkin bags, unfortunately, it's sad. to have originators, and then you have a lot of running around with swag or running with style. And he says, before acknowledging that Prince did it, though he wasn't a rapper. Okay, now he is not going to talk about Prince. Prince is the only man, because Prince was like about 3'1", who could get away with wearing heels, and honestly, nobody even paid attention to it. You knew he was doing that, but his music was so just Prince-like that you didn't even think about it. I didn't realize Prince was short for a long time, and then I realized he was wearing heels to actually to enhance his height. And Yejarina, it's wild. They wild. They just, everybody's out there now. They talk about the fact that now to, I guess, actually not have to identify as anything. We're gender fluid. It's crazy. But he's like, Prince did it. It feels like it's been a new trend, new swag, new style. Paint your nails. I don't ever remember Prince painting his nails. If somebody else does, please tell me. He was very, very eccentric in what he did, but I don't ever remember Prince painting your nails. Prince painting his nails. He did a lot of things. He wore little lace masks over his face, and it was all to create this mystique. Prince was a one of a kind. Everything he did was one of a kind. The man could play a guitar and apparently many other instruments. Actually got to see him in person when he did his musicologist. It was after he had, if I'm not mistaken, but after he had converted to being a Jehovah's Witness, and he was cleaning up a little of his music. Let's see here. What does Qoffee 19 say? Rock stars don't count. We're talking about dudes running around with guns, wearing thongs. Oh, that is a very, very good point. We are not talking about rock musicians, and Prince was definitely rock and not trying to thug it out with a thong, thug it out in a thong. You are correct, ma'am. So it's just saying that Fat Joe, he talks about a lot of things. That's the part that I want to talk about, because he goes into like the beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and I'm not really interested in that. I can tell you one song that Drake has made, and I cannot tell you anything Kendrick Lamar has done, because I just really dropped out of the music scene around about 2000 with very, very few exceptions. And I saw what you said, Brian Chess. Yes, he was unique musically. He was very, very talented. And I know some may not like this because of the all the things that were involved. MJ, Michael Jackson, was another. He was very, very unique musically, and he did things. He stretched the limits. He creatively, he was in his own category. And I think both of them were. And I heard that one of the things everybody thought that Prince, rumors in the streets, we do this, we don't know, that both of them are now gone, so can't ask them. That Prince and Michael, they never collabed, never really got along. Not that they were like angry with one another, but they just weren't really feeling each other. And I think there was that healthy competition between men. But Michael actually did want to do something with Prince, from what I've heard, and Prince kind of rebuffed that. And if you kind of look at some stylings along the way, you'll see that Michael kind of was styling himself a little bit after Prince. I don't know if that was actually the case and what he was trying to do, but I found it interesting. Somebody mentioned that, and I was like, oh, I guess it's kind of interesting when you think about it, because you look at some of the things, the short haircut, things like that, and it was Prince-like. Just saying, putting that out there. Like I said, both of them are gone. Nobody can say for true whether or not that happened. But I am going to move on. So we have the feminist, the feminine, and now, y'all, I want to introduce you to what I want to call Black Mitzvah and Dark Seniora. So y'all know, Shara, you can let us know in the chat. Did you have a quinceañera for your 15th birthday? And we all know that Jewish boys and girls have a bar mitzvah, depending on girl or boy. Bat girl, bar boy. Well, most cultures used to have kind of ritual things that they would do where your boys and your girls would be ushered into society. In fact, we still do have that. We have like Jack and Jill, and we have cotillions. We still have things like that. But did you guys know that it's prom season? And for Southern Blacks in particular, Blacks, but Southern Blacks in particular, prom season has become like our quinceañera and our bat and bar. You don't have to quietly step back from the conversation, Brian. We're gonna have some fun here. Our quinceañera, our bat or bar mitzvahs. We're gonna read all about it. Courtesy of Baller Alert. I wish there were a video because I think that would be absolutely amazing. But there's not. So we're gonna read the article. So, Black Southern students have reshaped prom night. I don't want to. Have reshaped prom night, and we are here for it. This is from Gibson Precious. This is published just a few days ago. Excuse me, April 24th of 2024. So we're gonna read this one, y'all, because it is hilarious. I could not believe it when I did it. Hey, Richard. Hey, Richard, how are you? Thank you for joining, sir. You're just in time for the Black Mitzvah and the Dark Seniora. So, prom has become increasingly significant to African Americans in the past decade, most notably in the South. The occasion has evolved becoming a family affair, a symbol of celebration, pride, and community unity, with send-off parties becoming the norm. Okay, before I go on there, I want to say, y'all, I had a send-off party for my prom, but it was not on purpose. So my mom had to work. My date lived near my aunt, and my mom had to work near there. So she was going to take off on her break to come over, help me get ready for prom, and, see me off. So I thought that, my aunt was going to be at the house. My mom was going to come to the house and help me get dressed and do all that stuff. And, my date was going to come pick me up from my aunt's house. No, ma'am. So my mom did come over to help me get ready. Since my date lived close to my aunt and he's going to come pick me up from there. My aunt was there. My sister had a track meet or something like that day. So one of our friends' parents and that she was running track with my sister, playing basketball or something. My sister did sports. I don't remember which one it was. She was I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second so y'all can see me because this was fun. So she was going to drop my sister off. Now, instead of dropping my sister off at home, they decided that they were going to come to my aunt's house to see my prom date and see me off for prom. Okay, so now we have my mom, my aunt, my sister, the friend's mom. Now, we were all close. We were. So we have 5 people there. Okay, that's one thing. My cousin lived around the corner. She decided she was going to come over to see me off. So now we have her. Then I did not know that my uncles and my cousins were going to be back in time before I left because they were off doing some practice thing. So they're home. So my date, he did a drive-by just, to make sure he was going to stop at the right place. He done a drive-by like a day or so before just to make sure he could get to the right place and make sure everything was going to be fine. He knew where he was going, whatever. And he comes to pick me up for prom, and there are like 8 cars in the yard. So he passes by the house because the house that he passed by a day or 2 before only had 2 cars there. So he passes by, comes back, he comes into the house. Everybody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they start talking to him, whatever. And so we're standing there, we're getting dressed, and I was like, we're standing there, they want to take pictures. I'm like, I saw that you passed by. And he actually said, he was like, yeah, because I did a drive-by like a couple days before, and there were 2 cars parked here. And then I'm like, there are 8 cars here now, so I can't have the right house. So that was my prom send-off. We go back to the screen. Let me actually, before I do that, I saw Shara. She's like, are they culturally appropriating other people's tradition? No, ma'am. We can't be culturally appropriating other people's traditions because it's a Black mitzvah and a Dark Seniora. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we go on through the thing. Because prom, I'll do it now. Prom is for everybody. Everybody has prom. You can choose to go. You can choose not to go. But a quinceañera is specifically for that one person. It is their introduction to society. It's the coming of age. It's not universal. So what we've actually done, or at least what they're saying we've actually done, is actually lowering the bar, and we're just going to share it with everybody else. But let's go back to the article. Hey, Eric, I see you, sir. So I said, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I hope that you're doing well, sir. So we go back. So where send-off parties have become the norm. Loved ones gather with photographers, decoration, food, and foreign cars to observe these glamorous students on to their big nights. Rolls Royces, Bentleys, and Range Rovers have become the go-to vehicles for the night. We just were. Oh, I did not start sharing with y'all again. Sorry. This is why I don't need to stop sharing when I'm talking, but I wanted you guys to see me. We'll go back to sharing. So Rollses and Bentleys have become the norm, the go-to vehicles for the night. I remember when people were happy to borrow their parents' car, and if they were lucky, they got a limousine. So let's see, Rolls Royces. For many Black students, prom represents more than just a high school dance. It's a rite of passage, marking a transition into their post-high school lives and an opportunity to showcase cultural identity and individual style. Y'all, they're putting on a dress. Even the prom pictures and things I've seen, I have never seen cultural identity in anybody's prom dress. Now, I could be wrong. There could be some people who are faking it with the dashikis who are not actually African but are Black, born, raised here in America, families who are wearing dashikis to prom, though I doubt any Black girl is gonna wear a dashiki to prom. But I've not seen dresses that have been cultural. They may even be one of a kind in the sense that they were made, but they're not. There's nothing. I couldn't look at it and say, "Oh, you know what? I know that is a Senegali prom dress or an Irish prom dress or a Mexican prom dress for that matter." Although I've probably seen some closer to those than I ever would anything. I don't even know what the cultural identity would be. Individual style, I will grant you that, because some of these kids, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. From extravagant attire, which often includes custom tuxedos and gowns, to elaborate hairstyles. I haven't really seen those either. Like I have not seen any avant-garde hairstyles going to prom. I've not personally seen it, but we go on. Black prom goers usually use this affair to reflect their unique experiences. While some believe such extravagant, grandiose displays are a waste of money for single night, other cultures have long held widely accepted teenage celebrations, such as quinceañeras. There you go, Shara. They had to bring y'all up to explain why we have to spend all this money on prom. The Mexican and Latin American tradition that honors a girl's 15th birthday. There's also a bar mitzvah, which is a practice in Judaism that commemorates the 13th birthday of a boy, with bat mitzvahs taking place for girls of the same age. Therefore, as prom continues to shift from year to year, so does its significance within the Black community as a cultural touchstone that should be acknowledged as other coming of age rituals. Okay, my question is, why? Because everybody, oh, there we go. Everybody is going to prom. Let's see what Qoffee 19 says. I went to prom in 97. One trend I've noticed recently that I never would have seen back then, guys going stockless, kind of weird to me. Maybe that's part of the cultural identity, Qoffee 19, because I agree with you that it looks horrible. It's not cute. And a lot of times, well, maybe now, and maybe with this whole little rite of passage thing, they're getting their own shoes. But I'm like, it's like not wearing socks and bowling shoes. And let's see, we got Eric wanting to say, let's see, and then that and wearing shorter pants than their legs. Yes, it's a fashion of feminine. I agree with that, Eric. I agree with that. I'm like, please, I need your pants to be long. So here's another reason Southerners are embracing prom season more than ever is that historically, and y'all, here comes the racism. As the reason why we have to spend all this money and do this, is that historically the dance has been an arena where systemic inequalities are magnified, with disparities in access to resources and opportunities evident. Despite these challenges, southern states such as Florida, Alabama, and Georgia have continued to dominate in fashion, luxury during homecoming. So now we're throwing homecoming in here. Ha! The 1840 saloon girl dresses confuse me the most. That's funny. Continue to dominate in fashion and luxury during homecoming and prom season. So which is the one that's the rite of passage, prom or homecoming? Because now we're talking about both. With prom now bigger than life, multiple Instagram blogs are dedicated to the festivities. Slade proms and Hall of Prom bring awareness to some of the most lavish displays. There are also designers who make it possible, such as Marcy Austin, who creates many of the stunning Florida prom looks that gone viral. Okay, y'all. So here's, I guess, one of these people, one of these, two of these children who are doing this. Who in the chat has seen prom things go viral? And it may be because I'm old and I'm not doing the prom thing anymore, and my kiddos are not old enough to go to anybody's prom at this point in time, that I don't really know about the trends and I don't know what's going on. But I'm like, who in the chat has watched viral prom things or has kept up with has anybody visited Slade proms? Hall of Prom? Anybody? The pictures are nice, but I'm going, it's a prom. You could just take a picture and be done with it. Let's go through it. Ooh, because we get to go through this one. So let's see. So what do you guys think about her dress? I'm assuming that he has a custom tuxedo because it looks like he has designs on his too. I'm not sure if that's a bird, and his pants only hit his ankles. They're pretty tapered, and he is also wearing, oops, don't want to go to Instagram. He's also wearing sneakers with it. See, I kind of like the color. I kind of like the colors because I'm with the whole kind of rust brown, earthy tones, but this is too much. And she don't have a leg that she really needs to be showing. And this is prom 24. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, look at this. We got helicopters, y'all. I read part of the article, so I'm kind of going through this with y'all. This is kind of a live reaction. So let's see. We again have the pants that are where you can see the socks, and he's wearing tennis shoes, but they have a helicopter. Okay, points for anyone who can tell me what TV. Oh, I keep doing that too much. What TV son went to prom in a helicopter? Who knows the answer? Yeah, modern youth, man. I don't understand it. We got a Jeopardy moment. As we keep scrolling down, we see some more pictures. Oh, let's see who we have here. So we got a gold dress. Oh, okay. So, he has tennis shoes and his pants don't touch his shoes either. Look at those nails, y'all. Look at the nails. Okay. What about that one? What are we doing? I don't know what. Maybe he's straightening her dress. I don't know what's going. Is it? Why does she look like she has carrots on her? Why? And okay. It looks like his tuxedo is quilted too. Can you hold? Are you guys? Do I need to? Can I make this bigger? See. I don't know how well y'all can see this. Let's look. Are you guys seeing what I'm saying? This. Oh, I want to go back because I want to go back to her quilted nails. Not quilted nails. His tuxedo looks quilted, and she has jewelry on her nails. Not like little. Yeah. Yes, Qoffee 19. Hold on. Yeah, Qoffee got it. Theo's disastrous prom night. Oh, yeah, Richard. Yeah, when I was in school, same thing. That's what we called them, high waters, floods, and that would not be what we did. it was simpler back in my day too, Brian L. Chess. My junior prom, I went by myself. My friend, a girlfriend, and I went together. And we drove my car, which was a 1984 Ford LTD. And then for my senior year, my senior year, I didn't want to open it on Instagram, Eric. I clicked on it. Then for my senior year, we were in a Crown Vic. That was my prom date dad's car, and that's who we rode in. It was the Crown Victoria. We were not going in Maybachs. We were not going in Rolls Royces. There was no living the what did I do? We were not living the fabulous life. The only person I'd ever known, let me stop showing you. The only person I'd ever known who had gone to prom in a helicopter. Let's see. COVID-19. I'm trying to show, and why is it not showing? Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, there we go. That watch in the suit sleeve just screamed K&J. That's funny. And Susie Q, what we got going on in here? See, Saloon Girl, tell me it's not just me. Please, y'all. They look like they're wearing their undergarments for dresses. They are wearing undergarments for dresses, Susie Q. They're showing the girdles and waist snatches and cinchers. They're all now open for they're open up. We see it all. There's no mystery. There's no anything. Y'all, I intended to show you my prom picture, but I couldn't find it, and I didn't look too hard. I was gonna show y'all what I looked like at prom, because I will say I was thinner back in that day, and so I had little cutouts around my waist, but it was like all around. It was like a band that was around there, but it wasn't anything that extravagant, and it didn't hug my body and do any of that like the way that theirs are doing. It was not custom fitted. I actually got my senior prom dress. I walked into the store, and one of my friends was wearing the dress, and I told her she needed to go ahead and take that off because that was going to be the dress I was wearing to prom. And she didn't believe me, and it actually did turn out to be that way. Let's see, Eric, you said they look like they're trying to outdo each other with expense. See, here's the thing, though. They probably are, because I'm saying again, they're probably competing against their friends. I don't know if all of those kids were in the same space, or if it was just because of Slade Prom and Hall of Proms. They were showing various places. They were showing people from various places, but they're taking it seriously. And for me, one of the things I was just thinking about with it when they were comparing it to the bat mitzvahs and the bar mitzvahs and the quinceañeras is, one, this was a day that was really planned. It really is a cultural thing, and it's planned to introduce you into society. And it's one of those things where it is you. It is yours. It is yours solely. Your parents helped plan this, but it is not just this. It's a dance night, and that's all it's meant to be. It means something in those cultures, and I really would like to know what prom means, since they're trying to do that. Susie Q, let's see, my mom made my dress, and I didn't have a date. I drove myself my mom's 1998 Maxima. That's what I'm talking about. 1984 Ford LTD in 1995. That's what I drove to prom in. It was white. I was happy that it wasn't raining because it had a little leak in the roof sometimes where we come. So the fact that it did not rain that night and I was able to get there, get back, and stay dry, I was happy. So we did, let's see, we've done feminist, done the feminine. We have introduced you to the new black mitzvah and dark senora, because that's what I'm going to call them. And now, oh, I forgot, because I did forget, because I joked with Dear Woke Christian. I joked with Jason that because his daughter actually went to prom last weekend. President Firstborn went to prom last weekend, and so I sent him that article, and I sent him a text. I was like, Jay, did you rent her a Bentley? Did you get her a helicopter? Because if you didn't, then you ain't black, because apparently that's what we're doing. And also, I may have in my head, I don't think I told him this thought in my head he really isn't Southern because apparently Southern blacks are doing it more. So it proves that he is the Yankee that he was born. Let's see. Did I ever watch My Sweet 16? I did. I did watch that show. And I thought that was crazy too. I understand because here in America, we tend to look at 16 more of as a rite of passage because you get to drive and do all those things. But I always thought that was still way over the top. We don't need all the stuff. I've never, I'm trying to think, maybe I have. Maybe I've been to one quinceañeras. I've never been to a bat or bat mitzvah. But I'm going, again, my thought. Because even with the My Super Sweet 16, even though in America we tend to look at 16, it's kind of like the what you're kind of coming of age because it's a milestone because of the driving. There's still no real, like, you're not introducing them into society. It's just like, oh, look, you turned 16. It's a milestone birthday. There's no actual point to it. Whereas with a bat mitzvah and a bar mitzvah, and definitely with those two, I don't know about the quinceañera as much. But definitely with those, there's a religious aspect to it too. And they do all these other things to prepare. It's not just a party. You do things and it leads up to the party. Let's see what we have here. Qoffee 19. In 2024, you and your date can take pictures in grandma's basement info. That's true. That is true. You can do that. And Shara, I saw yours. You said you were in your PJs playing PlayStation at home during prom. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, Shara, I'm sorry, because prom was excellent. Like, I don't regret going to prom. I actually did date a gentleman who did not go to prom, and he eventually, I mean, I know you're probably not because you're Shara, but he regretted not going to his prom later in his life. Now, mind you, it was in his 20s that he regretted it. But okay, hey, I hope you enjoyed PlayStation, ma'am. Let's see. Susie. There you go. That's probably what was going on. Was he part of the Black Mitzvah in the Dark Sierra, or is he of another ethnicity? I get it, Shara, but I'm still gonna feel sorry for you. And that's what I'm typing right now. So, forgive me. Now, done that. A couple more things I want to kind of go over because I'm still getting used to all these lives. So, y'all, I appreciate you guys being my guinea pigs and just kind of helping me as I work through all this stuff. I feel like I was a little bit more organized this week. It's probably going to be shorter this week. And I wanted to ask another question. Shara Joel, Susie Q, Brian, I'm not sure if you're still here, Richard, Eric, I'm not sure who all still here, but this question is for the ladies. So all the ladies in the chat right now, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? I'll wait. Man or bear? That's the question. And guys, because I'm going to ask you anyway, too. You can be thinking about it. Would you rather be stuck in the woods alone with a woman or a bear? I shall wait for your responses. Here's mine. At Susie Q, I knew it. I knew it. I like Black Suasion. He's part of the Black Suasion. It's going back to your neighbor. Yep, that makes sense. Probably why the Maserati was there, ma'am. Do I know the man? Mine is man. Eric says he knows where I'm going with this. What about you, Susie Q? Shar said, do I know the man? And if it's a serial killer, I'd rather have... Bring the man. We don't know that he's a serial killer. We know nothing about him. I said man. I'm still going to take my chances. Part of the reason I'm probably going to take my chances with the guy is because I usually have something with me. But and the bear too. Bear guy. I usually got something with me, but I might not be able to stop the bear with the size gun that I have. But some say man. And Eric, you said you knew where I was going with this. So I am going man, any man, but preferably my husband. Well, you two, although Shar Joel kind of messed it up, y'all are in the minority because here we go. Although Sue,
Wow,
you and me,
in an
we got more.
insanely viral video, random women are asked, if you were alone in the woods, would you rather encounter a bear or a man? Well, here's how they answered.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary.
With a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear. 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there. A bear.
I would say a man.
1 vote out of 7 for a man.
1 vote out of 7. We did better in this live stream than they did asking people on the street about that. So we're gonna just listen to what they had to say about it, and then I have another video that I'm gonna play, which is I found very interesting. I will apologize because I couldn't find the original video that I watched, so I'm apologizing in advance for anybody who has sensitive ears. But we're gonna let this one play out, and then I'll play that one.
Wow. And while some people initially laughed at, first of all, the question and then the answer, saying, wow, how crazy is this? Who would want to be in the woods with a bear? Well, it opened up a huge and critical discussion about
And you're right,
women's
Eric.
safety.
Thank
I don't know
you,
if they
feminism,
intended this,
because
but
that's
this is what
exactly
happened.
what this is.
Why do women fear men more than potentially deadly bears? Comments have been coming in from all over the world, and they include, quote, I know a bear's intention. I don't know a man's intention.
Shar,
no
you're on the right
how
track.
Nice they are. One woman said, no one's going to ask me if I led the bear on or give me a pamphlet on bear attack prevention tips.
Ouch.
And wow, this one, this is a big one. Quote, if the bear attacks me and I make it out of the woods, everyone's going to believe me and have sympathy for me. But if a man attacks me and I make it out, I'm going to spend my whole life trying to get people to believe me and have sympathy for me. This is a lot.
Wow.
Many men, as you can imagine, are flabbergasted by this, and a lot of them got really defensive.
There you go,
This guy
Susan.
stepped in and he said, look, men, stand down and actually listen to what these women are truly trying to say here.
The bottom line here being is that women are terrified of men. And that's not up for debate. That is how they feel about men. The answer to their question has nothing to do with the bear and everything to do with how they feel around men.
Now, this woman, yeah, it's powerful, right? This woman says she posted her thoughts on this, like she'd rather encounter a bear. And one man proceeded to harass this woman on social media. He followed her to every single one of her platforms, trying to prove that men are safe. He even posted a bunch of statistics. And when she kindly asked him to stop and please leave her alone with her thoughts and feelings, he found her at work.
What?
She says, if this doesn't prove the point that these women are trying to make about how it feels sometimes to be in a scenario you don't want to be in and continue to get kind of followed down the path, let's compare it to the woods, then I guess this is where we are. I think it was a harmless question, but it really turned into a big debate.
I mean, that really opened a can of worms, right? When we're talking about women and how they deal and process with sexual assault and the disbelief that comes with that. Like, if I'm attacked by a bear, everyone's going to have sympathy. If I'm attacked by a man, everyone's going to question whether it actually happened. It's awful, and that speaks volumes. I will say, when I first heard the question, men or bear, or man or bear, I would rather come across a man than a bear. I'm not trying to be chased down by a bear.
Yeah, and me too. I think there are so many great men out there. We all know them.
Yes.
We all love
we're
them
married to them.
out there.
Yes,
Some of us birthed them.
Correct.
But I can understand the fear of some people who had different experiences and are worried about that. It surprised me to see that so many, was that 6 out of 7 said bear? That one was kind of surprising. I
think that's where this then got and went viral.
We're going to stop that one there. And I feel the same way, Shar. I'm like, if it comes down to it, my firearm can take out the man, but probably not the bear. We have firearms that probably could take them out. But I'm probably not going to be carrying that particular one out in the woods with me because I'm not going out into the woods to go hunting. I'm usually just going to be going hiking. So that's not gonna it's not gonna help me. What I have is not gonna help me. See what Brian, what are you saying? If you're attacked by a bear, people will ask, why are you in the woods to begin with? That probably would be my question, sir. That would probably be me who asked the question. I am the people who would ask that. Let's see. There ain't nothing but critical feminism theory. Yep, it is. Now here's an interesting. I have this video, and then I did not plan to do, another one, but I want to now have to remember what it was. But there's one I wanted to show too about that. Let's see. We're gonna hide the comment. I'm on you. Let's hide it, and then let's go to. So here we have a woman who asked her husband this question. And like I said, I'm apologizing because the video that I found, I couldn't find the original video that I had. So this is Asmon Gold, and he kind of has some bad language. So if you're sensitive, oh, I'm supposed to be sharing. Hold up. Sorry, y'all. Okay, and I'm gonna just back it up so you can see it. He's just sitting in his house. Wife asks him the question. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Would you rather our daughter be in the woods with a bear or a man?
I would say a man.
Why?
Because I could be that man.
No, not you, a stranger.
This is a man who lives outside of the Matrix. Yeah.
Okay, someone I don't know.
Yeah.
Versus a brown bear.
Why does it be a brown bear?
I'm just assuming that's whether black bear, brown bear.
Could be a polar bear. Polar bears are really dangerous.
Say man.
Really? You want our 13-year-old daughter to be?
If I found a 13-year-old in the woods, I would be like, okay, let me try and help you to safety.
No, that's really cute.
And a bear would be like, "Rawr, I'm gonna eat you." The odds are better with the man.
He's right. He's completely right. I mean, it's not even a question. Every bear is going to eat you. Every man isn't going to sexually, like, the implication obviously is that it's going to sexually assault you, right? Like, it's such a stupid question.
I don't know if that's true. I think you're just assuming that all men are like you.
No, we'll just take like 10 people, line up 10 men.
Oh, you're.
Oh, y'all, I thought I downloaded this. I don't know why we're interrupting, because that was the point. It's me downloaded.
This isn't going well? Why?
Like I said, the bear would like maul the child.
Yeah, obviously.
The man mauls the child.
I feel so bad for this dude to have a person like that in his life.
So you would want our 13-year-old daughter alone with a bear in the woods?
Yes, rather than a man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right? No, there's no way.
Yeah,
I don't believe that there's.
And it goes on. The original video that I saw, it went on, and it was just saying the woman was like, "Oh my gosh, this is not going well. Everybody disagrees with you." The comments, like, she was saying that she was saying about her husband, you're going to get eaten alive in the comments because you would rather our 13-year-old daughter be in the woods alone with a man who, as this man logically stated, more than likely would try to help the child get out of the woods rather than a bear. I mean, the video goes on, he's like, bears can't talk, bears can't do this, bears don't have hands and feet. The man is probably like, he could potentially be lost too, and they can help each other get out, and they can help him survive. He's like, the bear, he doesn't understand what you're saying, and he's coming, and he's, the bear's more dangerous. And the sad part about it is they really are making all men out to be predators, and that's so sad. But these same women who are making men out to be predators will be the same women asking why no man wants to date them, why men don't approach them, why men aren't doing any of these things. This is why, if you're saying you trust a bear, a wild animal, more than you trust me, what we got to do with one another? What can I do with that? Let's see. Either way, we don't have bears in Texas. So if I'm in the woods with the bear, it's the hunt said bear, probably with my husband. Susie, I love you. I love you. I think we actually do have bears here in Alabama. Let's see. Qoffee 19. She doesn't believe what she's saying. She's saying that for her Facebook friends. Yes, she is. Because she, again, as the video goes on, and I wish I could have found the original one that I watched, where I watched they played the entire clip of that. And she was she was telling him, she's like, you're gonna get eaten alive in the content in the comments because you're the only person who thinks that, but the whole world basically. And by that she meant women. I think that it's safer to be with a bear than it is to be with a guy. But these are also, I think last week, or maybe I was talking not last week because we did this 2 weeks ago. But last week I mentioned when we did a live at Podium Studios with Dear Woke Christian and the Standard of Truth podcast and Kevin Briggins and Caldwell Apologetics, that they'd asked women, do you need men? And 9 out of the 10 women said, no, we don't need men. They are of no use. And I'm like, you can't have kids without a man. You can't have bridges, houses, cars, anything. And let's see here. What we got? Shara. Yep, real men don't want to have anything to do with women like them. They don't. Eric, bet if the bear was chasing after these women, they would be all too happy to run into a man. Any man. Yep. They're right at chest. Yep, especially if he runs slower than her. Most likely the bear would tear the man apart while the woman would make her get away. Most likely. That's probably what would happen. And so she would actually need a man to save her. Yet, hey, we don't need men. We don't need men at all. It's sad, y'all, because I'm telling you, I'll take my chances with the guy because, like I said, no matter what I got, I know can stop a man. And as Shara Joel mentioned, I'm probably not going to be equipped at that point in time to stop a bear with what I have. Because unlike Susie Q, I wouldn't just be out in the woods to go hunting. Yep. So true. Shara said that. So the last thing I want to show you, because you guys are all over in the chats with Dear Woke Christian and all the other people who have been doing things about Atlanta and how Atlanta, that Atlanta must be stopped. But I recently discovered that it is not just Atlanta that needs to be stopped. It is all of Georgia. So not only do we have the DAs who are wilding out, have who are the city councilmen or county commissioners, excuse me, who are wilding out. We also got Nuckify Buck mayoral candidates, in Georgia. So it's not just Atlanta that must be stopped. It is all of Georgia. Before I go to that, let's look at some more of these comments. Most of these things they say they don't really mean. Yep, the same way women will say there are more than 2 genders and it's not determined at birth and turn around and throw a gender reveal party. So true. I never really understood that. You say, or they'll cry about the fact that men are dangerous. Well, if we can't tell what a woman is and what a man is anybody really dangerous? And for that matter, which men are you talking about? Eric, won't these kind of women be looking to men for help when guys unrestrained rap? Yes, they will. See. But they don't see they don't. The cognitive dissonance is real, y'all. It is very, very real. So I want to show you the Nuck If You Buck mayoral candidate from Macon, Georgia. Here we are. I had to make sure I was sharing the right thing. This is fun and it's funny.
Tonight at 13 WMAZ, we thoroughly vet political candidates for local offices like mayor, so you have all the information you need when you head to the polls. That often includes looking into criminal records and pulling government documents. After Shakita Maxwell qualified to run for mayor of Macon-Bibb County this month, we started our vetting process. Anthony Montalto is in studio tonight to explain what we found.
That's right, Frank. Take a look at this video. This is from a rental office of Bowman Station Apartments where Maxwell lived earlier this year. Now, the video was entered as evidence in an eviction proceeding in a Bibb County state court. It appears to show Maxwell lunging at an employee and trying to grab her neck on August 31st. According to a Bibb Sheriff's Office incident report, this all stemmed from workers at the apartment complex getting dust on Maxwell's car. Now, she's charged with battery, simple battery, obstructing an officer, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, all related to that incident. Now, as that makes its way through the court system, Macon-Bibb County is making other claims against her, saying she misused public money intended to make the city safer.
Airplane tickets to.
Okay, so hold on, wait a minute. Before we do this, we're going to stop sharing this one because I want you guys to see her presenting herself for mayor. So I thought that they were doing that one too, but they're not. So let me find. Let's see. Nope, that's there. Oh, I saved both of them. Hold on. Oh, let's go back. Here we are. Okay. So now let's share this one. So this is one of the candidates. She's introducing herself and then we'll go back.
She was born and raised in Macon and attends Macedonia Church. At Sunday service, Maxwell announced to her congregation that she's running. Celine Arif was there to learn more.
Meet Shakita Maxwell.
Vote Maxwell for mayor. Maxwell changing Macon for the better of all Macon.
This member of the NAACP said she's qualified to become mayor because of her education.
I have 2 masters from Mercer University, a master in public health and also a master's in education, STEM education. I am currently pursuing another master's in industrial organization psychology.
I also asked Maxwell what her top priorities are if she were to become mayor.
Economics, safety, and infrastructure.
She said she has different ideas about how to spend the city's budget.
My neighborhood doesn't play pickleball. We would like to see Bloomfield Gym be renovated before you put up pickleball and also before you put up an amphitheater. Those were not necessities.
She said what is a necessity is taking care of the area's homeless population.
The unsheltered needed shelter before we did anything else with that splash or did anything with American Rescue Funds.
Maxwell said she'd like to see more equal race representation in Macon, and she hopes to become a part of that.
Representation matters. In a city, majority African Americans, not dismissing from anyone else, we need to have a leadership that reflects us and looks like us.
Reporting in Macon, Celine Arif, 13 WMAZ News.
Maxwell also told us she's involved in various groups like Dress for Success in Atlanta, which she'd like to expand to in Macon if she becomes mayor. Maxwell currently works for the federal government as a public health officer, biological scientist, and chemist. And she also has her own educational athletic service business.
Okay, so now we're going to go back. Oh, that's my goal. Now we're going to go back. And, oh, where's my... There we go. So now we're going to go back. We're going to start from the beginning. And we are going to... You guys have seen that part. We're going to go back. And now that you have
Shakita Maxwell
her declaring her candidacy.
County this month, we started our vetting process. Anthony Montalto is in studio tonight to explain what we found.
That's right, Frank. Take a look at this video. This is from a rental office of Bowman Station Apartment, evidence in an eviction proceeding in a Bibb County state court. It appears to show Maxwell lunging at an employee and trying to grab her neck on August 31st. According to a Bibb Sheriff's Office incident report, this all stemmed from workers at the apartment complex getting dust on Maxwell's car. Now, she's charged with battery, simple battery, obstructing an officer, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, all related to that incident. Now, as that makes its way through the court system, Macon-Bibb County is making other claims against her, saying she misused public money intended to make the city safer.
Airplane tickets to other cities, underwear, perfume, food inside the Atlanta airport.
That's how Macon Violence Prevention Coordinator Jeremy Grissom says Shakita Maxwell spent thousands of dollars in MVP program money. 2 years ago, Maxwell's company, Royal Science, got $180,000 in federal American Rescue Plan Act funds. He says the goal was to help kids have some fun with science. Here's Maxwell describing part of the program in her own words in 2022.
Between 7 and 11 every Saturday, Royal to do.
Within a few months, Grissom says he noticed a problem.
It was kind of some problems with proof of payment.
Maxwell got $45,000 up front. She had to report receipts so the county could track the spending. But Grissom says in many cases, she couldn't document where the money was going.
You know, I tell you I spent $500 somewhere. There's really no way you to knowing if there's just a receipt that shows I took the cash out, right? It's untraceable.
When Maxwell did submit receipts, you guys just can't confirm whether she spent it on program expenses. Theoretically, she might have, but she needs to have the receipts for you guys to confirm all that.
Absolutely. And we gave her several months to do that. And once the receipts were turned in, over 50% of them were non-programmatic expenses.
So we requested all county records on how Royal Science spent that anti-violence money. We got pages of receipts, a $550 invoice for mosquito control, another for an almost $700 portrait, and an invoice from Mercedes-Benz of Columbus for almost $243 in maintenance. That appears to be for the same car involved in the August incident at Maxwell's apartment. We also found 2 letters about the transactions from the county dated March 2023 and August 2023. The second letter demanded that Maxwell pay back $20,812.15. That's money she either didn't account for or spent on non-MVP purchases.
We've not received any return money or payments.
The county says after they sent the August letter terminating the agreement, Maxwell replied by email.
The response was that I needed to fix it.
So I called Maxwell and I asked her to talk with us about all of this. She told me she submitted all of the receipts she had, and she said she didn't know anything about the $21,000 the county wants back. Eventually, though, she told me not to call back and hung up. I did, though, even showed up to her house, just trying to give her a chance to share her side of things. She still has not said anything else to me about the county's allegations. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Maxwell acknowledged the battery case, but did not want to say anything more since it is still moving through the courts. Her attorney, Sam Hart Jr., filed a motion to dismiss last week, but there's still no ruling on that motion.
And y'all, I will say that there's another video out there that I can't find because I was hoping that it would have on there, but she actually did address the battery issue, and what she said was everybody has a past, and we are not defined by our past, but this is still going through the court system, so let it be adjudicated, and then let's see what happens. Once, give her due process. That is what she said at her, I don't know, it was a fundraiser, press conference, whatever she was doing when she addressed the battery issue. She was saying everybody has a past. And my first thought was, ma'am, this is not your past. This is your present, because you have not had your adjudication time in court. But hey, what do I know? Let's see. What are you saying here, Qoffee? I saw it and wanted to put it up. Oh. Wow. Why is this always a trend when positions of power get diversified? Yes, ma'am. When they get diversified and when they are basically taken over by the black suasion, as Susie put it earlier. It is my experience that women should never be in positions of power. Yes, ma'am. There was one, I don't know if you guys, and I will have to see if I can pull it up really quickly, to show that truthfully it's not just black suasion, it is women. Because there's one of a DA in New York, wilding out. I may try and pull that up before we go. Let's see, Eric. Women know best. Thank you for acknowledging that, Eric. We do, don't we? Not really. Translation. Why y'all bringing up old stuff? That's not old. And that's my thing. I'm like, it's not old. It would have been something different had it been 20 years ago. But ma'am, it is, what are we in now? May. And this is probably a month or so ago. So we're saying this is 2024. This happened in 2023. This is what happens when we go for diversity instead of voting. Yes. Now, fortunately, though, she is not yet been elected. They still have the election because the election is this year. So fortunately, she has not yet been elected to anything. But we also see what happens when let's see, New York DA traffic stop. That's what I want. What also happens when you just straight up let people think that they can do whatever they want to do. It's like, it's ridiculous that you honestly think that it's okay to put your hands on somebody over dust on the car. Now, she says that there was damage to her car. The cops were called out, of course, because you see the assault battery. I'm not really sure which one it is in Georgia. You see that. But the police were called out even about her little car, and they looked at it. They saw dust, but they saw no observable damage to her car. Let's see. What do we have? Kathleen Kennedy is a prime example of that. I don't remember what I was funny about, Eric, but I tend to be funny, so it is what that is. But let's go find. Here we are. The Monroe County DA in New York was caught speeding, and I don't know. We're gonna see what we get here. And I always forget I have to present to you guys. So let me share the screen, and let's unmute it. So.
Is here with this story. DeMarco, this is a talker.
Everybody was talking about it over the weekend, Lindsley. This story sparking the debate on privilege when it comes to position and who you know. Well, the officer in charge today wasn't having it.
I'm the DA. I was going 55 coming home from work.
55 and a 35.
I don't really care.
This morning, New York's governor seeking a state investigation into a local district attorney's conduct after this traffic stop.
Get out of my
Sandra Dorley is under fire after police body cam footage shows her tense interaction with a police officer after refusing to pull over.
Can you stay over here, ma'am? This is a legal traffic stop.
The video, obtained by local ABC affiliate WHAM, captured the moment Monroe County DA Sandra Dorley, whose jurisdiction includes Rochester, New York, arrived inside her home garage after officers tried to pull her over for speeding.
Phil's Road.
To leave me alone.
Hello, sir.
In the video, Dorley admitting she was speeding.
And you even admitted to me that you went 50. I understand that, ma'am. I understand that.
Even flashing her credentials at one point.
I am the DA.
Okay.
Okay, let me get you my badge. I am the DA of Monroe County.
Now, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has referred Dorley's case to the Commission on Prosecutorial Conduct, saying Dorley has undermined her ability to hold others accountable for violating the law. All 9 members of Rochester's City Council calling for an immediate investigation into Dorley's actions.
I do think that she should resign. I'm not sure she will.
The officer ultimately giving her a ticket.
You know what? If you give me a traffic ticket, that's fine. I'm the one who prosecutes it, okay? Just go ahead and do it.
Dorley apologizing in a new video, saying she pled guilty to speeding and will undergo ethics training.
I am so sorry. I've been humbled by my own stupidity, and I'm fully to blame.
And again, Dorley went on to say, you heard it there, I've been humbled by my own stupidity, and I am fully to blame. State lawmakers, by the way, are also joining calls for an immediate investigation.
So as we can see, it's not just the Black suasion, but it's women in general. Like, women are wild. So I see Brian was interested. He was saying, he followed her home, and I'm like, she never stopped. So he just continued his little traffic stop, and he says that he always wrote down the person's plate and sent them a ticket in the mail. And Qoffee 19, she thinks she's Boss Hog, more like Miss Piggy. Oh, but here's the interesting thing too. I'll tell you once I go through some of the comments. That made me ashamed of my own gender. Remember, Shara Dole, gender is fluid. So if you would like to identify as anything else, you are free to do so, ma'am. Stupidity, you got that right. Oh, Shara, we've been yelling about that. Maybe we'll get some traction, because I really am willing to give up my vote in order to do it. So here's something that is always interesting to me. One of the things for this lady, she had run as a Democrat and got elected as a Democrat as a DA. And then she ended up switching parties and she switched to the Republican Party. So it's always funny to me because I'm going, not that and I get I Republican I say because they are the more conservative party. They're like, excuse me, 10 feet from the edge as opposed to having just full on jump off the cliff. So I'm always like funny because you know the thing that they will throw it in, because in one of these videos, I've seen a bunch of the ones for her. They mentioned the fact that she's a Republican DA and the fact that she switched parties. And it's one of those things where I'm like, now it's a whole little deal like, oh, Republicans think they're above. You know, that's one of the things that Dems like to say, liberals like to say, that Republicans think that we're above the law, or conservatives, however you want to say it. Because I would really call her a true Republican as opposed to a conservative, because she obviously did not bring conservative values with her, because she thinks she can do whatever she wants to. Let's see what Susie's agreeing with Shar, saying amen, the same. And Brian is saying when he was a cop, he always felt the stop wasn't worth the headache of what. I agree. I'm one of those people. I would be like, yep, and I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna send it to you in the mail and we'll be good. I would do the same thing. But going back to what I was saying, it's the whole little deal. It'll be the Republicans think they're above the law. Conservatives think they don't have to answer to anything. And I would like to remind people, she switched. And as you can see, she is still quite feminist and thinks she can do whatever she wants to and rules don't apply to her. And that's not to say that in the Republican Party, people don't think that too, because I really do believe we have a uniparty, which is why usually I say I'm conservative, because I mean, I want to conserve and preserve the culture that we have, and namely the culture that God says that we should have. Because my feelings about a lot of things that happen is, if we just did it like he said to do it, because what do you know? There's a book of law in the Bible, literally, not just saying meaning the whole law, wrapping up saying the scriptures. There's actually a book of law. And it makes a lot of sense, because guess who gave it to people? God, perfect God, gave imperfect people his perfect law. So I'm just saying that's what I've always thought. Let's see, they wouldn't have mentioned party affiliation if she was still calling herself a Dem. Exactly, because if you notice in Macon, although maybe it's because it was an assumption that she's a Democrat because she's black, there's no mention of party affiliation. There's nothing that I found on any of the videos that I've watched about her that mentioned her party affiliation. The Nuck If You Buck mayoral candidate in Macon. Haven't found that. Yes, power does corrupt, and you do have to handle it with care. You have to have people, which is why, I'm saying this, and I know that Korean babes, Vi and I talk about this all the time. I lean Christian nationalist. I know that's a bad word, and I'm hoping YouTube doesn't get me because but I'm like, there are guardrails, and the perfect one, the creator of the universe, set those guardrails. And I'm like, if we just did what he would say, then we would be good. And you're right, Brian and Qoffee agreeing with him. Let's see. Yep, there's controlled opposition. Yep. Oh, Speaker Johnson has just been such a disappointment. Such a disappointment. I'm like, so you just gave in to everything they wanted anyway. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, though I think she is we're just gonna say interesting, because I'm not gonna say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at times. I think it's pretty cool that she wants to vacate, I think is what they call it for the speaker. They're trying to get rid of him. But I will say this too, though. We are the only people who can't get out of our way, meaning, again, the controlled opposition, because unfortunately right now we do have just two parties that can actually be in power. We can't get out of our way. The Democrats do not give a rip about anything. They'll talk about each other, and then the next breath, they're going to make sure that they hold on to power. Not necessarily because they like the person that's there, but if they can hold on to their power, then what they can do is get somebody that they really like in there the next time. Because somebody's actually running against AOC. There's a gentleman who's running against AOC, and it's funny because I'm like, she's crazy. So I'm wondering how thanks, Susie Q. Happy birthday, mother-in-law. Thank you for joining me, darling. Love you so much. How how much power we give up and we see, because we do infighting, and we talk about the left eating each other, but we really do eat each other, because we will end up infighting enough to where we lose our seat to a Democrat, and then things just get worse. So, y'all, I am trying my best to keep it at about an hour and a half or so, and we have reached that time. So I would like to, I think there was one more thing I had to share, and this is just something that is fun because I have been enjoying. I don't know if you guys have heard, we talk about the whole men, women, and all of the things that we do. We've talked about the lady with the Cheesecake Factory, and let me see if I can find it. If I have it up, I'll do it. If I don't, I will probably start with that next time I do a live, because it does not look like I have it up, but I wanted to just kind of show you guys some videos from the drizzle movement, and what that is men basically repeating the foolishness back to women that they have been saying to them about how the things that they want and the things that they that must happen for them if they're going to date them. And y'all, some of the stuff is really, really hilarious. I am getting better at curating my things. I'm gonna have to get better at actually putting them up and remembering to share with you guys. But I am happy that you guys joined me. I'm going to be grateful for those who watch later. Hope you do. If you guys would, just make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you think it's worth it, share it with your friends, or at least just tell them about it. And I will see you next time in Q's Corner. I'm hoping to have some time now because the kiddos are kind of ending their spring sports, and we'll have a little break here during the summer, so I won't be as busy in the evening after work. And so I'm hoping to get up some more content for you guys, because I really do want to start doing this more regularly. And my plan is still to continue the live Coffee with Q at least every other Saturday. So I will say this: thank you guys for joining one girl sharing her opinion from her little corner of the world, for participating. I love it. Take care, family, because you guys really are my family. And Shara, Joel, I see more lives. Kiana, what I'm going to try to do is do some more premieres so that we can interact with one another. I don't know how many lives I'll be able to do right now. I'm trying to do every other week so that I can keep it and make sure that I actually am doing the lives. But again, we're slowing down a little bit this summer, so I might be able to give you some of those, Shara Joel. But I really do want to do some more premieres so I can at least chat with you guys and not have to worry about whether I'm watching the chat and doing the live stream thing, and everything's coming up. But again, thank you guys for joining me. I enjoy it. I'm going to get better with interacting with you guys in the comments, because as you know, my home, my heart is in the comment streets where you guys are. Take care, family. Thanks for joining me in my corner. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.